Hey guys, how's it going? The Film Attackers here, and today I'm going to be ranking the American Horror Story seasons. Now, I am very mixed on this show. There are seasons that are absolutely phenomenal. Then there are seasons that are absolutely pure shit. And Alex, if you're watching this, man, I really do recommend you watch the seasons. I put an S and A tier because I think you will enjoy these seasons. But what I'm doing with this video is that I'm planning on rewatching every single season of American Horror Story. But before I do, I want to do a tier list of what I initially think right as of right now of each season of American Horror Story. Then I'm gonna go back to rewatch it and then do another tier list after the rewatch to see if anything has changed, if anything's gotten better or worse. So yes, I love American Horror Story. If you don't know what it is an anthology horror television show. And what I love about this show is that you can start off with any season except for one. You can start off with any season you want and totally get the story. You don't have to watch any other season. You can just jump into a season, watch it, be done. A great example is this. I had a friend who wanted to watch American Horror Story 1984, but he was scared because he's never seen any of the other seasons. He wouldn't get the plot, and I basically told him you don't have to watch the other seasons to get the story. And me and him watched 84 together, and without him rewatching without him watching any of the other seasons, and he totally got the story. He totally enjoyed that season. So it is very much a show you could just jump into in any season, and well, except for one, which fucked it up. But you can jump into any season you want, and you'll be completely fine. So starting off this tier list is American Horror Story Freak Show. That's going in A tier. Upon rewatch, the first few times I watched this season back in the day, I absolutely loved American Horror Story Freak Show. It was such a different season from what was initially there. It's definitely more about discrimination against people who are different, which I think is a good message. You shouldn't be discriminating against people who are different. That's what I love about the season. But what I don't like is that some of the episodes do feel like a chore to get through. They're very slow. This is not, except for one character, I think his name is, I can't remember his name. I think it's Smiley the Clown or Chuckles the Clown. This season is not very horror oriented. It's more about prejudice and discrimination against people who are different than you, which, it's a very good message. Well, that's what I got out this season. But you will get different things out this season. To me, it just wasn't very horror oriented, and some of the episodes do feel like a chore to get through. Does not hold it back from being a fantastic season. It is still a great season. To me, it's just the more we watch it, the more of a chore it feels like to rewatch. So that is my opinion. If you enjoy Freak Show and you wanted an S tier, I'm sorry. It is an A tier, so it's still a fantastic season. Coming up next is American Horror Story Asylum. That's going in S tier. If there is one season that I would highly recommend as a critic and as a fan, it's Asylum. This season was so fucking good. This is the season that got me hooked on American Horror Story. This is season 2. If you want to jump into, I'm trying to say the seasons. Freak Show was season 4, Asylum season 2. But Asylum deals with so many things. But I will tell you guys one thing. I'm not going to spoil the others because they're big plot twists. But one of them is the devil, and it's so good. This is a very dark, grim season, very fucked up. Everyone just pulls out their A game of this season. It's a season that, after rewatching it so many fucking times, I can always go back to watch it because it never gets old. It's so well worth it to watch Asylum if you've never seen it. It's so good, so dark, it's fucked up beyond belief. There's good villains. There's 3 villains, and they're all so good. If you have never seen Asylum, definitely suggest you check it out. It's my favorite season of the show. Coming up next is American Horror Story 1984, and this one's also going in S tier. This is my second favorite season of the show. This one just plays at my heartstrings. I love the 1980s, and having an American Horror Story season based in the 80s that has homages to classic 80s slashers. Oh, fuck yes, I'm down. And like I said, I watched it with my friend who's never even watched a single season of American Horror Story. He loved it. I adored it. I love this season. It's so cheesy, so campy. It's violent. It's everything I wanted an homage to 80s slashers to be. And this nailed it, not the round apart. Now, they do throw in other elements to it that make it different, which I won't spoil if you want to watch it, because this is season 9. But they throw in other elements that make it feel more modern while making it feel retro, which is what I like. And I feel like they knocked it right out of the park with AHS 1984. It's definitely my second favorite season, and I've already rewatched it 3 times since it came out. Coming up next is American Horror Story Roanoke. This is season 6, and it's going in S tier as well. This is a very unique season. It did something different. Instead of being filmed like normal, what they did with this season was they made it more of a documentary, which is cool. Not very much like a documentary. It's kind of like if you ever watch those cheap fucking paranormal shows where it has like the actors portraying the events as they're told by the actual people it happened to. That's what the first half of the season is. It's like one of those, and it's really cool because they got Cuba Gooding Jr. in this season, which he does a phenomenal job in this. He does phenomenally. But then the second half of the season is like this stupid paranormal reality show, which is fucking hilarious, but also really fucked up because you see these events happen to the actors and the actual people, which is cool because the actual people can tell the actors hey, this is what you need to do and all that. It's a very cool season, and I love what they did with all the characters, including Kathy Bates' character. Kathy Bates' character was so well done. I loved it. And this season does get into fucked up dark places. So if you enjoy stuff like that, I highly recommend season 6 Roanoke. It's really good. And it was a great palate cleanser after the shit that was the season previous to this, which I'll get into in a second. Coming up next is the very first season I started at All American Horror Story Murder House, and that's going in B tier. Um, I like this season. I get why it's important, but it's not my favorite. This is a season that I will only recommend to certain people who have certain taste. Like the seasons in A and S tier, I can recommend without a problem if like because I know that those people will probably fucking love it. This season is kind of hard to recommend at times because there's not really that much special about it. I mean, yes, it did start American Horror Story, but it got outshined by Asylum, which came right after it, which Asylum was phenomenal. It got outshined by all that, and it's kind of a shame because you know the first season when I first watched it was great. I would put it in an A tier, but the more I rewatched it, the more I'm like, okay, this is kind of a chore to get through. While there were really good moments in it, it's good. It's just not as good as I remember it being. It doesn't hold up as well to me. But if you want to watch the season, that's completely up to you. You may like it more than I do. Maybe I'll like it more on my rewatch when I rewatch the series. But I just did not at all care for Murder House. It's still good. It's just the more I rewatch it, the more I start to dislike it more. Coming up next is American Horror Story Coven. Now, I'm not going to put this in a bad tier. Even though I do not like this season, I understand why people like it. Unlike, well, with Murder House, there are aspects I liked. Coven, there's nothing like at all, but here's the thing. Just like with Altex or Breaking Bad, I can see why people like this season because I know people put this high on their tier list and they put it high on their rankings. And I can see why. There are some great moments that I will admit there are great fucking moments in this season. But what holds it back is just it's not my thing. I do not care for the whole witchcraft thing. Oh, by the way, Coven is season 3 if you want to watch it. But I just did not care for the whole witchcraft story. It's still good. Well, it's not good to me. I find it kind of a chore to get through. The good moments are few and far between. But it's a season that I get why people love it. And that's why it's going to C tier because I don't want to put the season S tier because it doesn't deserve to be an S tier. There are good moments about the show, and I can see that there's quality behind it. It's just not my thing. All right, now coming up next is American Horror Story Cult. Yeah, fuck you. No. There's a point in American Horror Story when it started getting shitty, and it was, yeah. Cult was just fucking garbage. I hated it. I hated the over political message of it. I hated the characters. The only thing that I can say that's good about Colt is his villain, played by Evan Peters, who is a AHS regular. He is the only good thing about this season because he is such a good actor. But everything else about this fucking season, it's just not good. It's not really horror oriented. It's well, yes, Freak Show is not horror oriented. At least it had a good story with great characters. This show has none of that, and I absolutely fucking hate it. If maybe, like I said, if I go back to rewatch it, maybe I'll like it more. But as of right now, I fucking hate Colt. Coming up next is Apocalypse, which ruined the whole thing of, hey, you want to watch this season? You better watch all the fucking others. Before this season, you could just jump into any season and watch it, and you don't have to watch any of the other seasons. This season tied in the other seasons, and which made you go back to rewatch it because you'd be fucking lost without it, and that's what pisses me off. Not only that, but Apocalypse was boring. It dragged on for way too fucking long. It did stupid plot twists that made no fucking sense. I was expecting so much more from a season about the fucking apocalypse. I was going through my head, what could they fucking do with the apocalypse? It's going to be insane. It's going to be great. No, it's boring. It dragged on for too long. They did stupid choices in this season. And it's just, and they ruined the whole thing that you can jump into a season and jump back out without a problem. They ruined it with this season, and I fucking hate it for it. Now let's get into American Horror Story Hotel. Oh, and by the way, Colt is season, I'm trying to remember. Colt is season 7, and Apocalypse is season 8, if you fucking want to bother watching those. And Hotel is season 5. Remember when I told you in the Roanoke thing that it was a great palate cleanser for a previous season? This is it. This is season 5. Because Roanoke's season 6. Season 5 was atrocious. I hated Lady Gaga as a villain. I hated the story. And there's not one thing, just like with Apocalypse, there's not one thing I fucking like about Apocalypse. Well, not Apocalypse, but Hotel. You know what? Can I move this? You know what? I want to move this to C tier because I don't want. If Colt may be bad, but at least it has some good things about it. There's nothing good about Apocalypse nor Hotel. They did stupid shit. At least with Colt, they did a story that was not bad. It wasn't good either. It wasn't to the greatness that was like 84, like Roanoke or Asylum or Freak Show or hell, not even Murder House. I would still rather rewatch Colt than rewatch Apocalypse and Hotel. Hotel was just straight up garbage. There's only one character I like, and she's played by Kathy Bates, and she's boring. Like I said, with American Horror Story, there are seasons that are fucking phenomenal. There are seasons that are fucking atrocious and will piss you off. And these 2 seasons pissed me off. I would never recommend these seasons. Maybe by the grace of fucking God, I'll like these seasons if I rewatch it. I highly fucking doubt it. But yes, I do not care for these 2 seasons. I'm sorry if you like these 2 seasons, but they're just not for me. So anyway, this is my tier list ranking for all the AHS seasons. Sorry, I went on a rant. Like I said, thanks for watching this. I really do recommend the S and A tier seasons. They're really good, man. I think you'll like them. There's 4 good seasons to watch there. Just go into caution with D tier and C tier and all that. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you guys next time.